What's going on, guys? This is Travesty here, and today we have week 3 of the MGL. So we suffered an unfortunate loss last week to Frito. We just had nothing for that Cyndaquil, and once it started firing off eruptions, we really struggled. So if we ever get to rematch Frito, we'll be bringing a slightly different team, that's for sure. But this week we will be facing Tina. So not someone we haven't played before, and I don't know how much experience they have in draft in general. But looking at their team, they do have a couple of massive threats. They've got a bit of a sun mode there with the Vulpix and the Bulbasaur combo. A couple of really bulky mons with Bonsly, Growlithe and Slowpoke forming a pretty solid core, and Larvitar as well, not to mention Larvitar. And then some interesting priorities. So Fletchling is a bit of a unique mon in the priority that it gets. It's kind of a bit better than Talonflame, honestly, in terms of relativities, like in terms of relative to the rest of Little Cup, etc. And Dino is a problem for my team. Flabebe, you'd think, oh, it resists dual stabs, it'll be totally fine, but Dino with Hustle Head Smash just OHKOs a Flabebe anyway. And not to mention it can Terra into a type to hit us really hard, so I don't really have a switch into Dino, and we're not even going to try to switch into Dino. We're just going to let it claim a kill and then try and revenge it if it comes in. So that's going to be the game plan. In terms of the other things we notice about her team, first of all, is a raging ice problem. So outside of the 2 fire types and then the Slowpoke, Ice Shard just kills everything if we get to +6 with Cetoddle. So we are running sub Belly Drum Salac Berry with Thick Fat, so we potentially don't need to sub in case we need to take a hit from something, and we can just take the hit and proc the Salac Berry and Belly Drum all in the same turn. But most likely we'll be bringing this in to force something out, like the Bulbasaur or the Poltergeist or something like that. And then we can sub up on the switch, Belly Drum up, and go from there. Knockoff will destroy a Slowpoke, and if it is like bulky Growlithe, then Knockoff, I mean, we could be running EQ, but then we can't run sub, etc, etc. So this is kind of the best option into most things. And then the Salac Berry allows us to outspeed the Fletchling, because it probably has to run no item acrobatics, or it's unlikely running Scarf, let's put it that way. It's most likely going to go for a power boost or a defensive boost, and either way we can just Ice Shard and take that thing out, and we'll outspeed its priority. And then we can basically just Ice Shard, knock off everything. Anything that's not Scarfed, we will outspeed, we'll do tons of damage, and at +6 we just annihilate everything in the world. Investment, not a lot to talk about. We're just kind of max speed, max attack equivalent with little bits of leftovers. The only thing is to make the HP number divisible by 4 so that we proc our Salac when we take 75% damage from the sub and the Belly Drum. Then to enable some of the sweepers we have on this team, we have a Chingling with dual screens, Wish Baton Pass. This is pretty much just there to set up screens and then get into one of the, basically bring 4 offensive threats and 1 pivot. So this, and then this thing. So this thing is there to kind of act as a pivot, because they won't know what set it is. I can use it to force out the Bulbasaur, potentially get my screens up, wish up into something else, Baton Pass out, have a great time, and enable some of our more spooky mons. Then we have our primary answer for the Sun offense, and that's going to be the Tentacool. We're running Liquid Ooze again, because I thought about running Rain Dance with Rain Dish, but it gets you like 1 HP in Little Cups, so it's not really worth it. Whereas Liquid Ooze, if we catch the Bulbasaur going for Giga Drain, can force it to take a good chunk of damage. And then we just have Flip Tone, Rapid Spin, Gunk Shot. She does have a couple of good hazard setters in the Larvitar and the Bonsly, so we want to be able to spin those away to make room for things like the Cetoddle. Gunk Shot is just fantastic in this tier, apparently. It just like 2-hit KOs everything. It's pretty good. And then Flip Turn, obviously, to get a bit of momentum as well. And Rain Dance is still there just to stop the Rain Sweep. Like, we should be able to take a hit from a Bulbasaur. And then once we get Rain up, we'll outspeed it with other things on this team. We can go from there. We'll outspeed it with this as well, because I'm running max speed to speed tie the Vulpix and outspeed pretty much everything else, I think. Yeah, I think we speed tie Vulpix and outspeed everything else with this spread. Speaking of outspeeding everything else, Choice Scarf Blitzel's coming back again, but we're running Special this time with Terra Ice, Terra Blast. They don't have a great switch into this. Bolt Beam coverage goes pretty hard. Obviously, they bring Larvitar, we can't just spam Volt Switch, but if they don't bring Larvitar, we can just kind of Volt Switch around and then go for Terra Blast, Ice, on a thing we want to get the kill. We are running Sap Sipper for, again, like the Bulbasaur or the Petalil. There's more likely than Electric Immunity in this game because they don't have an electric type, and they're unlikely to be running electric coverage on anything else. And then Endeavor is just there if we get worn down a little bit and we can go for a Scarfed Endeavor and bring something down low, then fantastic, we'll do that. It kind of just didn't need any other moves, so I was like, yeah, it's a fun tech move. Then we're bringing Poochyena for the first time for pup's sake. Toxic Orb, Quick Feet with Terra Normal Facade. This is like the set you want to run when you bring Poochyena. And the main thing I noticed with when I decided to bring Poochyena was that Tina does not have a Dark Resist outside of Dino. And so Crunch is just pretty good neutral damage into everything. Terra Normal Facade also just does a huge amount of damage into like generically bulky mons like the Growlithe, for example, and the Bulbasaur. So if we can get this thing's Toxic Orb off, we should outspeed the entire team that isn't Scarfed, and we can put a bit of pressure on. If we get Trailblaze up, then we should be able to outspeed most things as well. Trailblaze also gives us a good option to hit the Larvitar because we'll hit it 4 times super effectively, so if she does bring that, we can get the Toxic Orb off, go for Trailblaze on the prediction, and then get off to the races with Poochyena and hopefully put in a bit of work. Then, last mon, fucking the MVP, the S tier pick. Of course, we're bringing Scraggy, Baggy Brian with the Violet, running Shed Skin in case of like Willow on the Vulpix or Sleep Powder on the Bulbasaur or things like that. Also, we don't have to worry about Scald Burns as well. Actually, I don't even know if Slowpoke gets Scald. I think it does. I think it's Thunderwave, actually. I think it doesn't get Scald. I looked this up. So yeah, just to try and handle those statuses a little bit better. Knockoff CC is kind of the only coverage we need. We're not going to be taking a ton of hits. Once we get a DD up, we should outspeed basically everything on the team. And if we get 2 DDs up, we do outspeed everything, I think even Scarfers. So if we can get 2 Dragon Dances up, we're golden. And then we just click Close Combat and knock off into like whatever we're hitting that's ahead of us. Now, I was thinking about running Poison Jab for potential Terra Fairy mons, but I do think the best way of revenging this is going to be that Fletchling, and so we're running Upper Hand so that we can catch the Fletchling trying to revenge us, flinch it, and then it no longer has priority, then we can just click Knock Off and KO it from there. So that's going to be the fun tech on the Scraggy. So yeah, a few kind of fun things this week. Nothing too insane. I say bring Sub Belly Drum and Upper Hand into a match and a Toxic Orb Quick Feet Poochyena. But you know, it's Lil Cup. I feel like this is normal for Lil Cup. So we're just going to hop into the battle and see how we go. So I'm back here with the battle against Tina. She doesn't bring the Larvitar, which is nice, because it means there's no electric immunity and Blitzel can kind of just go ham. Other than that, it's pretty much what I expected. So I'm just going to lead off with the Blitzel. We should outspeed everything. It's Terra Fairy on the Dino, which is kind of unfortunate, because if it's defensive, that means it completely walls out Scraggy. But we should be able to get some good damage on it if we go like Poochyena into Scraggy, for example, or Cetoddle. Bonsly is also a little bit annoying, but between like flip turning from Tentacool and stuff, I think I should be able to handle it. We've had some terrible luck trying to get this battle going, DCs and illnesses and all sorts of stuff, so hopefully this all goes well. There is Grover the Bonsly. Probably just to set up rocks. Your Eviolite, you do take 2. That's surprisingly good Spadef. And I guess we're not booster. So I am just going to Volt Switch turn 1. Break the Sturdy on this thing. And then... do I just go hard Scraggy? Potentially. Because if it's before you Terra the Dino, I can just click CC and I can set up again later. The other option would be Tentacool. Flip turn's not doing much. What we do... get our chip off. That looks Spadef-ish. So I think I am going to go into Scraggy here. Just goes for Rock Blast. This should do nothing. So it's Rock Blast. So that's potentially Dice then. I mean, it hit 5 times. And they did 1 damage each time, so I don't think we can tell anything from that. Yeah, even if you're like max attack adamant. Yeah, literally there's no attack investment that changes that calc. I am just going to click CC. There's no particular reason not to. If you're Chopple, you will take it, but not well. Yeah, it's still might kill actually if you're Chopple. And like, what do you switch into this? If you go hard Dino, we just kill. If you go hard Fletch Sling, I'm pretty sure CC will do. Yeah, CC should kill. So let's see. Putting a question mark next to dice. Okay, we do just kill this thing then. Cool. Dies too scraggy. I think I am going to preserve this. See what she decides to go into. It could be the Fletchling, in which case I do want to show off the upper hand tech. It won't kill. But it should do a lot. Actually, is there any point? Because we need to get to +1 anyway. Depends whether I have a switch into a dual wind beat or not. Elmo's gonna be this thing. Okay, I think on you I want to go Chingling and get my screens up. So at least threaten it out. Whereas Tentacle doesn't really... I'd rather save Tentacle to switch into this thing when the sun's up. Because if something has to go to sleep, I'd rather it be Chingling as well. If she's like Sleep Powder. So let's see if we get any info from you. Yeah, there's the Sleep Powder, that's cool. Guaranteed 1 turn is sleep here. She might go Dino. So I kind of want to double. And this thing is obviously the biggest sleep fodder. I don't need screens. What happens if I double Pooch? On like a sludge bomb. We will take it, but barely. Yeah, I'm just gonna double into Poochiana here. Okay, so either we're faster or she stayed in. See what this thing wants to do. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Okay, so it did 3 damage with knock. And that means it was... So it did stay in, so we don't know. Can we tell anything from that? Alright, definitely not terroring this thing then, because we're not poisoned anymore. So yeah, that looks like it's not attack invested. I'm just gonna crunch, get some chip. Energy ball, sleep powder, knock. Energy ball. Well, you tried, Poochiana, you tried. So now it's faster. Sleep powder, knock, energy ball. So that looks like it's probably a Violate special attack invested to have done 17. It's either boosting item, yeah. Do I just want to go Cetoddle here? I think I do. And I'm gonna get greedy and go for sub. I don't think you stay in. Like, because if I'm just like Choice Scarf, Ice Claw Crash, right? And we should be able to live long with enough to sub. Yeah, okay, so it switches out. Ernie. What's that going to be? There's the Vulpix. Cool. I'm going to click the button. Don't have Encore. I don't even know if this thing gets Encore. We're gonna... I also hope it's not Scarf. It might just be, but, you know. Pretty sure even if you're defensive, we should kill +6. Yeah, flamethrower, that's always gonna break a sub. In the sun, I'm pretty sure. Even though we are thick fat. Yeah. Fly forward, perfect. So that means we know we outspeed this now. And we click knockoff. And then sun is gone. I mean, not gone, but we've dealt with it. You don't have to switch in. Stupid Cetoddle. Stupid one. Bulbasaur KO'd the Poochyena. Man, if I got the Toxic Orb off. Yeah, cool. We just stay in and kill this thing. Down goes the Vulpix. Dies to the Todd. Where do you go now? Big Bird, that's going to be the Fletchling. I am just going to Ice Shard. Yes. Down goes Fletchling. Stupid Cetoddle. Cool. So... Cookie is going to be the... Growlithe. You are Eviolite. Well, you're Intimidate, sorry. So I think you take this. Might not, actually. No, you should. You should if you're defensive. I'll just click knock. That means this thing is worn down. Oh, you're scarfed. Okay. Good to know. Sun goes down. Perfect. What do I want to go into then? You've got this thing, Dino and Bulbasaur left. I think I'm going to go into you because I know you're scarfed into Flare Blitz. You should take it pretty comfortably. No Intimidate. Choice Scarfed. Yeah, Flip Turn should be doing a good amount. Have any reason... Like, we should take a Flare Blitz, right? Yeah, it's not doing much. How much is Bulbasaur taking from? 'Cause it did look like it wasn't boosting item. Almost two-shot by Gunk Shot. So I kind of want to click Gunk Shot here. See if I can catch it on the switch. Because this thing is just not doing any damage to us. And if we catch the Dino, then potentially we put Scraggy in a really good spot. We still have our Sleep Fodder as well, which is good. We can just switch that in every time. Okay, this stays in. Does 6 damage. And that just kills. Gunk Shot's so stupidly powerful. Alright, show me the dino. If you go Bulbasaur. Do we take an energy ball? We should. Thing is, if it's Scarf Dino, we don't outspeed anyway. We should be taking an energy ball. Definitely take a Sludge Bomb. You can't Sleep Powder. You could knock, but 2 Gunks should kill you. Dies to Tenta. So that's my only question. Could flip for some chip, and then we should be able to clean up with Terra Ice on Blitzel. Yeah, at this point Blitzel just comes in and claims a kill. So I think I'm just going to Gunk Shot for my damage. Cool, does over half. Knocks me off, we should take that. So if we land a Gunk Shot here, we're golden. Shoutouts Tentacle, man. I can't get friggin' Cinderace to hit a Pyro Ball, but Tentacle can hit 3 Gunk Shots. Elite. Alright, so in comes the Dino. We should find out now if you're Scarfed or not. You are Terra Fairy, and you have no reason not to Terra if you're Scarfed. I'm just going to click Gunk Shot again. You don't get DD, so that's good. What pieces do I have left again? I have a Chingling that has no attacking moves. Fantastic. So we're sacking that thing if we ever need to. I think we go Blitzel, Volt Switch, Pivot. But we see if this is Scarf first. Because if it's not Scarf, then we should be fine. I just always click Gunk Shot here, because if you Terra, you die, and if you don't Terra, you take a bunch. And if you're Scarfed, you outspeed me, but that's chill. Yeah, she's gonna Terra. So we'll find out now if this thing was Scarfed. We've only seen the one Scarfer so far. Oh, I'm sorry. Can we miss? No. Okay. I think I had outs there still, because with Blitzel, once you're Terra Fairy, T-Bolt's doing over half, so I just... Oh, that's if you're a Violite as well, which you're not, you were Scarfed. Yes, I just Volt Switch into Thunderbolt after a sack, so I think it was game anyway, that just helps the differential. So yeah, GG's to Tina. Dino was a threat. I'm so sorry it didn't land the move. I feel really bad because I hit, what, 4 Gunk Shots and you missed the only 80% accurate move you went for. But yeah, I just went Blitzel, Volt Switch into Chingling, and then it dies, and then I bring in Blitzel again and click Thunderbolt, and I think that was game anyway. So anyway, well played. And yeah, we will be back next week against, I can't remember who we play next week, but that means we're now 2-1, and I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, I will see you guys, and Cetoddle popped off. Sub Belly Drum did a thing. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.